What's good, guys? Welcome back to the first take, or this will be a second take. Second take on the first take. I'm joined by dude. Never to introduce himself. What's the pose in front of the fucking camera?
I'm not even posing, man.
Now I figure we just sit down, man, and talk about, is Netflix in trouble? Is that train coming off the rails? Like, I'm talking about Netflix as in the Marvel Netflix universe.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
Because it started strong. Daredevil.
Oh my god, Jesus, what an epic thing.
Then there was season 2 of Daredevil. Boom. Now, this is where we deviate between the two of us. Jessica Jones, I liked, but I can't argue with people who don't like it because it was a slow burn. But you didn't like it at all, did you?
Oh!
Yeah, you didn't like it at all.
Not even a slow burn, it was just because I understand, I mean, from the comics that there's this massive psychological issue between her and, what's his name?
Yeah, the dude. They call him Purple Man.
Yeah, okay. And then, but I don't feel they translated it very well. Just how control it just felt really pathetic, you know. And she could have ended so much suffering had she just killed him straight away. And so there was no, I understand that. But then what I'm trying to say is the fact that she didn't kill him. Clearly, there's this sort of control, and you don't really kind of find it out until the end. But I just felt it was just poorly communicated and conveyed. As a viewer, I just thought it was
shit. You just feel it should have been better written. Yes,
and directed. I just felt like they could have shown
pretty generic in the way it was presented visually.
And there was times when Luke Cage, when he featured it, if you remember the part in, like, I think it was a big greenhouse or some shit, and like it was like, did they forget the sound effects because he just whacked someone with a piece of wood. And it was just
the action wasn't great in Jessica Jones at all.
Fighting coordination was choreography was shit.
So then on to the next, we've got Luke Cage, which was okay halfway, and then it just seemed to I haven't even finished it. The last couple of episodes. I just don't even wanna.
Wow.
I
did finish it, but it was painful. It was very painful. Then it got to Diamondback. The best thing about that was Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
Played by that name I can't pronounce if you do it properly. But yeah, he was fucking fantastic. Yeah, and he deserves it, you know. But sadly, I felt Luke Cage had a brilliant soundtrack. It had the potential of a great story, but it just fell flat, like that. You know, like a girl with no butt.
And it was like exciting because I was still excited by the whole Marvel Netflix thing. So anything they were doing, I was like, yeah, oh my god, it's good.
I mean, we binge it. And I didn't binge this one.
I started to binge it, and then it got to a point where, why am I doing this to myself? I could sleep rather than force myself to go through this. I never had that with any of the others.
It was bad. It was bad. So I actually, for me, I put Luke Cage and Jessica Jones, funny enough, they ended up being in the same thing. I put them together as shit.
No, I won't go as far as shit, like.
I'll go maybe about 5 out of 10, whereas Daredevil was a high 9 or 10.
The reason why we mention this is because early reviews, I think we're still a week, is it?
Yeah,
not this Friday, next Friday after that, away from Iron Fist dropping. Early reviews are starting to come out, and they're not kind.
Do you know what? It was when was it the Daily Standard, Evening Standard, the Daily Mail, Daily Telegraph. When a paper like that can review a show that is like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for here? A popular show, pop culture type of show, and call it dull or boring and give it such a low score, it's worrying. IGN I didn't care for. They gave it like a 6.5 and put okay. IGN have got this real crappy habit of rating things really highly, like episodes of Arrow that was so fucking shit, and then they'll give it a 9 or something like that, and it's like, were you watching the same thing? So IGN I don't fucking trust, but the fact that even they gave it a 6.5 and called it okay and gave their synopsis says a lot.
That's the general consensus. Meh. Like, it's just dull, it's boring.
If seen it do it, then it's all over. Do you know what I mean?
And this, to play devil's advocate in this is only, I think, the first 6 episodes that people were allowed to view out of the series. Out of what, 12?
Out of 12, usually it's 12 or 13, but is it going to make a fucking difference?
Usually the first 6 are the best 6. Like with Luke Cage, the first 6 were the better episodes. After that, it was just even worse and dull.
The moment Cottonmouth died, it was like it just ruined everything because...
But are you surprised? Because everything I've seen from Iron Fist, I haven't liked.
I don't know, you know, the last trailer they showed...
Don't like the actor.
I actually thought decent. Yeah, he's the gay guy from...
The character's gay, yeah, in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, he's still that.
But he doesn't, I don't buy him as a hero. Maybe watching his performance in the show may turn that over, but he just looks too dweeby for me. I just don't...
I still think he's the gay guy from Game of Thrones. But with a beard. But when he was in prison... He played that even better.
And then, you know what I mean? Yeah, well, his performance in Game of Thrones is good. That's the thing. I can't really shit on the actor because
it's just
in Thrones he's good.
As Iron Fist is not convincing.
And then
it's almost like Arrow.
A lot of people have been saying that it's a similar sort of premise.
And then
it's always a billionaire child who survives, he's been missing and comes back.
And then comes back, takes over his daddy's company and fucks all the girls.
You know, he quit Twitter the other day.
Who? Arrow dude?
Finn Jones, Iron Fist actor.
Oh, serious?
Yeah,
why?
Because of the race. Yeah, people asking him. He did like some Q&A thing, and people asking him about, why isn't the character Asian, Chinese?
Yeah, the whitewashing shit is just beyond me. But
can we use the term whitewashing when that's what the character always is?
Oh, if he was always white, I mean, I'm not versed with the whole Iron Fist thing, but Bruce Wayne, Dark Knight Begins, Ra's al Ghul, it's kind of like, you know what, if you're gonna steal from someone's culture, even freaking, what was that Marvel film, Doctor Strange, it was just like, but that was well explained. But if you're gonna really go there, like, do the people in the culture justice and put some Oriental person in it and stuff, and it would make sense.
The main females,
yeah, they did, but that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse.
Would it have made a difference to Iron Fist if it was
Ghost in the Shell?
Well, you know what? I was watching something about the Ghost in the Shell thing. For one, the animated director of the animated show or film, I think the film, he's like, he's fine with it because he always kind of envisaged it that way anyway. And there was this video, it's on YouTube, I might even put a link to it down below, where they go to Japan, some guy, and he asks random Japanese people about it. And as far as they're concerned, they don't want a Japanese person playing the part. They're like,
I'm not being
because it's an anime
to the Japanese people, but if you do watch their animes, I mean, even Ajin recently, they look Western. They have this obsession with white Western fucking looks, and it's just like, do yourself some justice, because you don't see white Western people doing shows and thinking, I don't know, let's call it Dallas and let's have it full of Oriental people or Indian people or black people. No, they represent themselves. So I do not understand the mentality of the Japanese when it comes to things like this. What's that show? I forgot. Is it Wastelands or something? The guy.
Oh, Badlands.
Badlands. That was another one.
But he was an Asian guy.
He was.
As the main.
Nobody else was.
But it was based in America though, not any Far East country. But I never even watched that. I never even watched it, so I never even.
Quite good.
What was the premise of to why everyone was doing kung fu? Why was that?
There it is. That. No thanks, because I know, like, this isn't racial or whatever, but, there are white people who do martial arts and stuff, and some really good ones, and black people and blah, blah. But let's just respect where it's coming from.
See, this is it would have been, it's just a weird thing for the one, this martial arts god, to be this blonde dude. But then saying that, to play devil's advocate again, we've had the discussion before in other videos when it comes to, when people say Idris Elba should be James Bond.
Yeah, and I totally disagree.
No. Fuck no.
No.
He could be another character within that world and have his own thing going on, but I'm perfectly fine with James Bond being what he is. He doesn't need to be a black man for me.
He doesn't, exactly.
It's just a different person, different character, so...
You know, so I don't agree with that. And so equally, which is like balancing out here, because I think otherwise your viewers might think like, oh my god, he's always doing that, man. But it's not that. We're living in a time where now people are so astute and aware. Back in the 80s, you could have got away with that crap.
Yeah, it's of its time, because it was from 90s. The 60s or 70s when that character was come. So it made sense then, because the audience reading that comic book were all white. So they wanted something that reflected themselves, but they had a little curiosity, interest in what those Kung Fu movies, what Bruce Lee was doing.
Yeah, definitely.
So it made sense for then, but for now, does it still make sense?
To be fair, the character was always white in the comics, then there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have an issue with it, personally. But I just think, don't shove the one Asian person in there or whatever, or make all the bad guys Asian.
Token,
and then, it's just ridiculous for me. But that's not what is making this show get bad ratings.
No. It's the writing and the direction. Even from the clips that we've watched, I've watched, there's a fight scene with the female lead.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Where she's in a cage with two guys. And it's shit. The choreography is dull as fuck.
What's going on?
Arrow has better choreography.
Is it a different director and writer to
different
Daredevil?
teams. All of them are different.
Then here's the problem. Netflix, if you are watching... Whoever writes and choreographs and directs Daredevil, please apply that same persons and team to Jessica Jones.
Not enough.
To Luke Cage.
Can't do it.
To Iron Fist 2 The Defenders. And we're happy to sit and wait for quality to be delivered.
There will literally be one show per year.
I do not give a flying fuck, because when Daredevil dropped, we waited how long for the next one, and there was no fillers. Exactly.
But
so in
between, but that same person can't also write Jessica Jones, which came out in between that.
I appreciate that, but if you've already written it, you don't need to write nothing else, because now it goes to the director, and the director now still needs to get the production crew together in there. So while they're doing all of that, guess what you're doing?
It's inconsistency, man. Because with Daredevil, visually, cinematography looks beautiful. Yeah. The action is well choreographed and brutal, and it's just so good.
I can't fault Daredevil at all.
But then
they made Wilson Fisk likeable.
Onto this. Granted, Luke Cage, most of it looked alright, looked pretty good. There was some nice visual flourishes here and there. Not stunning, but...
No, visually it was alright. The fighting was alright. It was just dull.
Jones was dull. But this, it's like, this is not that... I don't know, man. But is this a problem going forward? Should we be worried about Defenders? Should we be worried? It's a shorter run.
If they don't have...
It's not going for as long.
The guy who writes Daredevil doing the Defenders, then yes, be worried. Be afraid. Be very, very afraid. This is bad. Like...
Yeah...
I think it's a good thing that, you know, Netflix now allows you to download your shows, because I'll kill it on the tube on the way to work and back from work. But I enjoyed when we sat down and we binged freaking Daredevil. I enjoyed when we sat down and done it a second time. The rest of them, nah, get out of here. No. I couldn't even believe when I had friends telling me, well, one particular guy, two particular people, watched Jessica Jones 3 times already.
Wow! I tried to go through it a second time.
Nah.
On riff.tv. I got not even halfway through the season, I just stopped.
Yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Yeah, it's just someone who enjoyed
gonna keep
the show the first time, and I was like,
bruv. It's just hashtag murky.
So can they fix it? Can they write this shit? Will they write this shit?
Oh, they're gonna write it. But to be fair, I just oh god, who the fuck is watching this stuff to enjoy it? This is the thing. And the thing is, because we end up watching it, we add to their numbers, and they're like, yeah, it's a success. But it's like, well, no, it really isn't, because it was rubbish. I didn't enjoy it.
So that's the hard thing. I guess it's the rewatch numbers. That's how they judge how successful something is. How many people go back and watch it again. So I think Daredevil, that's pretty high. I'm not sure how high Jessica Jones will be, but I'm pretty sure Luke Cage is low as fuck.
But yeah, I think Luke Cage actually is it's been one of their biggest shows, and again,
it's a different audience, isn't it? But that's the curiosity from the first time.
Sometimes with, no offense to you fellow black people here, but when something's black, it's like, let's watch it because we don't get it often. But you need to admit to yourself when it's shit.
You want to support it, but if it's bad, it's bad.
It's bad. And so, it is what it is.
Luke Cage, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's average.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't even bad, it was just average. So, I guess we'll see, man. Another week. A week away, we'll see whether Luke Iron Fist is as bad as they say or whether they were being a bit harsh. We'll see. I'll try.
I actually, from the last trailer, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I'm looking forward to this. I am looking forward to this, and then I really.
But it's about martial arts. If the martial arts suck, then what is there?
Yeah.
If the story itself is boring and I don't like the characters and the martial art is shit, what is it?
Yep.
I don't know, man.
Anyway,
I want to hear from you guys. What do you think?
And you. No,
where do you think the rating of Luke Cage? I keep saying Luke Cage. What the fuck did he say? Luke Iron Fist is gonna be on all of the shows. Daredevil,
Johnny Cage.
1 and 2, Jessica Jones,
Daredevil,
Luke, and Iron Fist. Where do you think it's gonna rank
Luke
in there?
Cage, Jessica Jones.
And where do you think they're going wrong?
Iron Fist.
Do you have issue with the race of
Defenders.
it? Or are you like, well, source material's white, so let it be as it always was?
No, don't fuck with if it. Personally, for me, just don't fuck with it if that's how it is. But when you go changing it, you know, I'm just saying.
As long as it's a logical change.
Fantastic Four when they made what's his name? Johnny Blaze? Johnny Flames? Flame On.
Blaze, yeah.
Yeah. When they made him black.
Yeah, didn't really give a shit, to be honest.
A lot of people did.
There were a lot of people that gave a shit.
A lot of people fucking did.
Can't say I was ambivalent, to be honest. I wasn't like, yeah, or yeah, I just didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, let us know, guys. Like, comments down below. You like the video, please subscribe, like, share, all of that. I'm Ed Reese.
And I'm Danny. #Murky.
Later.
#Murky.